Hi everyone, and welcome back for Mindful Monday. I am Amy Rubin. I am a certified mindful mentor, and I specialize in working with families, teachers, leaders, and students of all ages to help us to bring calm into our hectic lives. As I continue my work with lots of different people, one of the most common things that I hear from people is, I just don't have the time to be mindful. And I'm always looking for simple, easy techniques that we can infuse into our lives that are not something that takes a very long time and are really effective. The teacher and the mom in me is also looking for hacks that I can use for myself, but that I can also use for my students. And so today, in our third edition of Mindful Monday, something that I would like to share for you is something that's a little bit figurative as well as literal in terms of taking a mindful snack or having a mindful snack. So the first one that I'd like to share with you is actually called a snack, which is an acronym for taking the time that we need when we recognize ourselves losing our patience or kind of flipping our lid. In mindfulness, we learn an awful lot about how mindfulness can help our brain and can help us from flipping our lid. And this is something that I use when I'm working with students because the visual is really, really, really powerful in terms of teaching them a little bit about their brain, learning a little bit about this prefrontal cortex, and understanding that mindfulness really kind of helps us to make it so that we flip our lid a little less often. Now, understand, from someone who is a teacher and someone who meditates on a daily basis, I still flip my lid. It happens. But the gift of mindfulness is that I have come to learn that it allows me to reset, to understand that I can start again. And so that's what I'd like to share with you today in our figurative meaning of snack, which again, as I said, was a acronym that's going to help us to remember when we do flip our lid, whether we get frustrated with our children, or we yell at the dog, or we get annoyed at our husbands, any of those things that might happen that can cause us to feel really uncomfortable and unmanageable. Those are the times where we can take a mindful snack for ourselves. So what I'd like to share with you is the simple mindful snack. This is from one of my favorite resources, mindful.org. It reminds us that the next time that you're feeling stressed out, overwhelmed, or unsure, that you take a moment of calm awareness and have a mindful snack. Here's how to do it. The S stands for stop. Stop what you're doing. Stopping, by definition, requires us to begin again. You'll often hear me talk about how mindfulness gives me a reset. This is what I'm talking about. We know that we can always begin again. We can stop, we can pause, and we can continue. The N stands for notice. Not only noticing what's happening around us, but also noticing what's happening within us as well. Noticing whether or not your heart is pounding, notice the temperature of your skin, whether or not your pulse is racing. You might also notice some of the noises and distractions that are surrounding you. The A, which is also known as the trickiest part, stands for accepting. Accepting whatever it is that you're struggling with, whether it's lack of time, your children that are driving you crazy, perhaps you're tired, frustrated, overwhelmed, and acknowledging whatever it is without judgment, just recognizing what's there and accepting it. The C stands for curious. This is when you ground yourself with questions about your experience and your environment. What am I feeling, and what do I need right now? Now, curious can make you a little bit overwhelmed as well, especially if you're experiencing a very uncomfortable emotion. And so sometimes the curiousness can be some grounding types of questions that you can ask yourself. What am I seeing? What am I feeling? What do I smell? And these are the types of questions that can allow you to get a little bit curious about your experience in that moment. And finally, the K stands for kindness. Kindness means responding to yourself and others with kindness and observing how things will help you get back on track. This is often referred to as compassion in mindfulness meditation, and noticing that in compassion, we're simply trying to treat ourselves as the friend that we need in that moment. By practicing this mindful snack, it can help us in moments of overwhelm or stress or times when things just seem to spiral out of control, to allow ourselves to take a mindful moment for ourselves to stop assess what's going on, accept, be a little bit curious about it and explore it, and then treat ourselves with the compassion because we all make mistakes sometimes. And this will allow us to reset. So if you liked this practice, you can find it along with all of my other videos on my website, which is mindfulself with 2fs.com. Remember, what we practice grows stronger, and one mindful moment a day is always better than none. Please feel free to share this with friends and families that you think could benefit, and you can always email me with any questions or requests to amy@mindfulself.com. Stay tuned for next week's Mindful Monday session, where we'll talk about the literal mindful snack, and I'll share other favorite mindful living hacks for busy lives and perpetual overload. Until then, good day and namaste.